I'm Myke Shrews.
And I'm Tivis.
And you're listening to
The Munster Cast.
Episode 101. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters and Munsters adjacent. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, tell everybody out in the Munsterverse, how you been, man?
Since the last time we recorded one of these, I've gotten better.
Awesome. And we would definitely like to thank everybody who tuned in and listened and showed up and everything for our special celebration 100, guys. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, everybody that sent in voice messages. Thank you guys so much. And everyone who also sent in messages and comments and all that stuff too, that we did not air just because they were just quick, hey, congratulations and stuff like that. So thank you guys, all of you guys. Thank you all. Tivis, let's dive into some dirty business. I know we have a little bit of time constraint, so let's dive into this. You can find the Munster Cast on Facebook and Instagram via the Munster Cast. You can find us also on what is it? See our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday on youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. And you can also check us out there, guys. You can find all of our video content in one place, along with any extra videos that we do that are not the podcast. You can also swing on over to TheMunsterCast.com and find all of our content in one spot. That is videos, blogs, articles, reviews, all that fun stuff. And you can even leave a review directly on the website. You can also click the right-hand side of the screen where there is a microphone icon, and you can click that, leave us a voice message, and we can play it on every episode or in each episode when we get them, of course, and air them in there so that your guys' voices can be heard as well by Munster fans alike, guys. You can also click on the merch tab, or you can just swing on over to themunstercast.com/merch and go over there, find the shirt, find whatever you guys are looking for that's Munsters related. They're curated and made specifically for you guys, Munster fans, and it's not just the Munster Cast logo. So definitely take advantage, check those out, and see what you can find over there, guys. Ooh. You can also email us all your questions, concerns, comments, thoughts, how we can fix the show, whatever, or what you love about the show, what you love about the Munsters in general, things like that. Tell us your stories, how you got into the Munsters, all that fun stuff. You can send us an email via themunstercast@outlook.com. That's themunstercast@outlook.com, guys.
Whew. We also have a Patreon that is mostly just a tip jar. Podcasting, not free. Help us out. It helps a lot. Thank you. This is our second time recording this intro.
I feel like we've done this already.
All right. But more importantly than the Patreon is the reviews you guys give us. As Myke said, you can leave it directly on our website, podcatcher of choice, comment on YouTube, like these videos. All of that helps get the show boosted in visibility, get more ears, more eyes, people listening to it. And we love to hear from you. We love to see the conversations in, the comments, even if it's not with us. Just people talk about the show is really exciting. And it's awesome that you guys are, along for the ride. Thank you.
Awesome. Yes, thank you guys very much. We appreciate it, every single person out there, especially the ones that message us, let us know everything, that you're liking, that you're not liking, all that fun stuff, guys. All right, Tivis, for the second time today, what episode are we talking about, man?
Take this job and shovel it. This time our viewers will not be assaulted by my cat licking herself in the background. Season 2, episode 23. Yes, that is something we lost, people. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? I'm gonna cut that and just zoom in on it and have it in your background all on repeat like a little GIF.
Put the Benny Hill music to it. This aired Saturday, June 2nd, 1990. Written by Robert Schaefer. This is his second episode. Do you remember his first, Myke?
Was it the birth one where Eddie was born?
No, it was Drac the Ripper.
Ah,
That was a good one. We enjoyed
yeah,
that one.
yeah.
And directed by Lee Lockheed, just like the last episode we talked about a few weeks ago, Deadlock, or whenever it eventually came out.
Okay.
So, no stranger to his stuff. We are actually at the last episode that he will direct. So that's sad. We have 2 guests this episode, Myke.
2 guests.
2 guests. We have Barry Denanel as Foster Newkirk. Now, Barry got his job, first credit, I should say, was in an episode of Blue Light back in 1966. He then appeared on Batman. Let's see, some other stuff that he was in Fiddler on a Roof in 71, Jesus Christ Superstar in 73, Monster Squad as Mr. Mephisto in 76, the Kentucky Fried Movie. I'm sorry, what? He played Hitler in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Superman 3, he was in that. The new Scooby-Doo Mysteries. I love Scooby-Doo, so absolutely anytime anyone's in that, I gotta mention it. Going through his stuff, Tales of the Dark Side, DuckTales, Real Ghostbusters.
The cartoon one? Yeah.
Hound Puppies, which is a show I barely remember from my childhood. Actually,
I don't remember the show, but I remember
the little stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a few still. Of course,
I don't have those anymore, but I had one. Murder, She Wrote, Mr. Belvedere, Murphy Brown, Adventures of the Gummy Bears, which is the show I still can't believe exists. He was on Batman the Animated Adventures. Phenomenal show.
Yeah.
Going through these, Clifford, the 94 show, not the dog.
94 movie, you mean?
Yes, the movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's Terry the Pterodactyl. He was also on Titanic. He appeared in Batman Beyond, another great show. Oh, here you go, man. Star Trek Hidden Evil, the video game. Star Trek Armada 2. Star Trek Brigade Commander. So this guy, he went into a voice acting, clearly, towards the 2000s. He was Mole Man in the Fantastic Four video game. That's awesome. I never played that. Dragon Age, Fallout, Diablo, trying to see World of Warcraft. So yeah, he's got Final Fantasy. And he was the defense advisor in Justice League Throne of Atlantis. That's a good movie. Blade 3, the video game. Okay.
The game?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a Blade 3 video game.
Oh, yeah. There's a video game for everything. But yeah, this guy has got 137 actor credits to his name. And he also has a writing credit for the Comic Strip Presents, which he was also in 93 for an episode. So,
yeah.
And an associate director for that same show. So, long career. There's a very low chance you have not experienced something with him in it, at least. So, and our next guest is Shovel as Donna or Sylvia. That's it.
Okay. Any previous work?
Yes. Anything that has a shovel. Whatever Universal has made that needed a prop shovel.
Maybe it was the shovel from like Young Frankenstein or something.
It could have been.
There you go. All right. It's canon now, man. All right, guys. It's synopsis time. Is it synopsis time?
It's synopsis time.
It's synopsis time. All right, guys. This episode, Take This Job and Shovel It, which aired June 2nd, 1990, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, the gravediggers strike, but not for gold. As Herman is left without a job, the family makes ends meet while meeting the lazy and bored version of Herman. Can the family take Herman being home 24/7? Can Lily sharpen her pen? Will Grandpa end up becoming the Al Bundy of the Munsters? Will Marilyn and Eddie jump for joy and celebration, or will they revert to mid-card characters? As time goes on and Herman prepares for a decade without work, will he become a scab to society, or will he find solace in conversations with Donna, shoveling away the memories of his working days? And of course, will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. Yeah.
So, as someone, full disclosure, who nearly went through a strike just before my job shut down last year, I have a lot of experience with this fun stuff. Plus, my dad, my grandpa have been union men my entire life, and they have done this.
Full disclosure, Tivis said right before we started here that all unions should be disbanded and gone for good.
If you want my honest opinion, join a union, unionize. Unionize the corporate greed. All right. So we open with Lily reading the newspaper on the couch as Grandpa comes up from the lab. She reads off the weather as being cold, gloomy, with a chance of rain. And he comments about how perfect it would be for a picnic.
She says cold and cloudy skies with a possible chance of a hurricane.
Oh, a hurricane. I thought it was rain. Even better. She finds an editorial about the union that Herman mentions he was made chairman of a few episodes ago, if you guys remember that.
You couldn't hear that, could you?
Hear what?
Okay.
Okay. What happened?
Something just started playing on my computer. I was like, okay.
Apparently, there's a dispute between the gravediggers and the morticians. Grandpa hopes the paper paints the union in a bad light because, of course, he does.
But what do the gravediggers and morticians have to do with each other? Like, really?
I'll be honest with you, I never knew there was a difference. I thought the people that worked at the morgue also buried the bodies, so that's how little I know.
Okay.
So Lily asks him why he's been complaining about them all week. When he was young, he had a nice business sharpening fangs. He paid very well, 2,000 sloskis an hour. And Lily's like, okay, how much is that converted to today? Well, adjusted for inflation and converted into American money, 8 cents, which is roughly 19 cents in 2024. Anyway, his employees organized a union and demanded such petty things such as minimum wage and time off for lunch, and it put him out of business. So, yeah, again, I'm very pro-union, just a heads up. Many of the current luxuries, even non-union jobs have, are to remain competitive with unions. Lily says the paper agrees with him. They should just be grateful to not have their pay cut, which is more than enough handed to them on a silver platter for a bunch of overfed slog slingers. This is the paper, by the way, that she's reading. Grandpa approves. In the old country, the gravediggers didn't have a union. They worked 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they were lucky to have a job. Yeah, sounds amazing. Lily counters that before these brave gravediggers unionized, they weren't even given shovels. So, hold on. I'm going to assume they had to buy their own shovel because there's no way this work would force them to work with their hands. It would just go too slow.
I mean, even in the 90s, they would still have like freaking backhoes or something to dig it up.
Oh, we've met the 3 people who own this place. They're not buying one of those. or renting one or anything.
That's true. I feel the cemeteries though would have them by now.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Grandpa counters with, first they want shovels, then Christmas Day off. What will it be next? A bonus for every customer that weighs over 200 pounds? Cool, another fat joke.
I mean, to be fair, they should get paid a little more for the bigger, heavier weight. Like most job descriptions are like, can you lift 100 pounds, or 50 pounds, depending on where you work. So if it's
Sure.
over the amount that the work is hiring you to do originally,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and
that's very true.
think about this, those caskets weigh a ton already.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put like a 400-pound person in there. Granted, they've already been embalmed and stuff, so they probably weigh a little less.
I was gonna say I think I'm gonna lose a little weight, but I'm gonna make someone a good payday.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
because they'll take organs and all that stuff out, but you'll still have like the fatty flesh and stuff. So
yeah.
take my
If her,
teeth, give my teeth to somebody else. Make dentures out of teeth. What if they make dentures out of people's like dead people's teeth? Because they just sew their mouth shut anyways.
the teeth would die.
Oh, I'm sure they can figure a way to keep them alive, Tivis.
Yeah, it's called fake teeth. There's a reason.
No, I'm sure there's a way. Yeah. I have baby teeth from myself when I was a kid in a freaking like envelope. They're still perfectly fine. They're not decayed away.
Why do you have? I don't know. We're not unpacking that.
Hey, it could be my circumcision skin, but that's not. God, I hope my mom didn't keep that. Well, we're not Jewish, so I don't think she kept it.
So Lily says, if Herman goes on strike, she plans to support him in every way she can. She will have to, since he won't be able to support you, Grandpa retorts, which is sad but true, because strike pay is total shit. But it's worth it to screw over people screwing you for years, honestly. I wish to God we had. Fuck those people. So Eddie comes zooming in from the back and throws his books on the table, breaking the cup Grandpa has been admiring this entire time. He asks if Herman is back from his union meeting yet, and she tells him, no. And if they voted to strike, you need to be there for him. He will be depressed. And as someone currently unemployed, that is something I could speak on firsthand. Especially knowing how little you get paid for strikes, like making bill. And that is a weapon the companies will use against you, by the way. If at all possible, if you're in a union, donate to union funds for another union. Like if you can, don't put yourself in trouble for it. But my God, the companies use that.
Oh, the union.
We saw it with the movies. Eddie says he heard there hasn't been a strike in over 200 years. And Lily's like, oh, yeah, I remember that. I don't really want to go through it again. I love when they're on point with the age of these, because we have established in this show they've been married 300 years.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original show, they kind of bounced around with their ages constantly, which is something they do in Doctor Who a lot. But it's more of an in-show joke at this point. Herman walks in, and Lily wants to know the decision that was made. Herman just shows a sign that says, keep your gig, we won't dig. I love that. Grandpa wants to know the ridiculous list of demands that these people want. Look, all we're asking for is safer work conditions. For our audio listeners, Myke put the sign on the screen, and I love the no circle with the line shovel. That has
Yeah.
become a shirt that he will wear the rest of this episode. Except for when he gets real depressed in his pajamas. I don't think he's wearing it in that one.
I don't think he's getting depressed there. I think he's just getting
Oh,
way
stir
too
crazy?
comfy. Yeah.
No, there's no comfy when you don't have a job, dude. Let me tell you.
Oh,
There's
I've been there. I've been
yeah.
there. I watched
I'm still there.
way too much TV. What? I watched way too much TV at that time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like even when I broke my leg, yeah, like I pretty much caught up with the Arrowverse during the matter of like a couple months, like a month or two, because I
within a
couldn't
week,
do
I
nothing.
fully caught up, ready for the final show.
Yeah.
Anyway, they want safer work conditions, cost of living increase, or COLA. I love that it's called COLA. I don't know why. It just makes me laugh. And an employee discount on their own funerals, which I feel like should be a given.
For our families, yeah, after we die.
Grandpa tells them to just get a gun and mug the poor morticians. Lily, however, is very proud of him.
But I don't understand what the morticians have to do with the digging, because the grave diggers are a whole nother department. They technically shouldn't even. They should be working.
I feel like Goodberry, Graves, and Gateman own the cemetery as well.
Yeah, I think so. But it should still be two separate. Like the morticians shouldn't be telling the grave diggers what to do,
unless those three are the morticians.
I guess. Yeah.
I dropped water on my phone.
Because the morticians are really just like getting everything prepped. Like they take care of the body. They clean it up. They embalm. Yeah. They pick the casket or get the casket ready. They put the body in the casket. Stuff like that. But they don't bury them. So I don't see the correlation of how the strike. What are they trying to get? Like the morticians don't pay them unless it is Gateman, Goodberry, and Graves that are.
That's the only explanation I have for this situation.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah. So Lily is very proud of him. You have to stand up for what you deserve, and that is very true. Like it doesn't just end with having a union. You have to remain active in that. Otherwise, you will get steamrolled by the company, like what is happening to the poor employees of Kroger.
Right.
Yeah. They gave up their power within the union, and the company took over with stock. It's exactly what happened with Hostess.
Wait, so Kroger isn't union anymore?
Oh, it's union. They just own the union owns part of Kroger, which.
Oh, they got stock within the company, so
yeah, it's the same situation what happened with Hostess.
Gets a little iffy.
Yeah. Yeah, you let the company in charge of protecting you and you're fucked. Anyway, Grandpa tells him he will only be standing in line. Oh, I'm sorry. Grandpa tells him he will only be standing in line in the bread line. Herman goes, maybe, but he has to do what he has to do. He can use the vacation anyway. Strike is not a vacation. I had people who were literally asking for picnics, lawn chairs, and to like fancy bathrooms when we were organizing our strike. No, like
for
my
fancy
grandpa,
bathrooms.
Yeah, they didn't want to use a porta potty.
I mean, they have those towing the trailer porta potty things now, which are a little more fancy, like actual bathroom.
Yeah, but it's just like, what do you think this is? A beach vacation?
A lot of people don't really. I mean, I understand it though, because like a lot of your union wages and stuff are going to paying for times of need like this for when companies and stuff do strike. So I get it. It's kind of like, well, what am I paying for if you can't, help me at least take a poop in a nice area or something? if I'm gonna be outside all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of that also goes to paying the paychecks of the union people.
Yeah.
Because that is their full-time job is there.
Yeah.
But it's just, this lady.
But there's supposed to be a portion set aside for all the other stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely. No. You're absolutely right. And it's sometimes never as big as it should be. But like my grandpa stood outside in the elements multiple times in the coldest of winters and the hottest of summers. He was out there. I've seen the stuff these people go through to fight for what they believe they are owed, and honest truly do should be owed.
Yeah.
And this lady, whoa.
I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like with this episode here, like I don't feel that there's a strike going on because Herman's really not out picketing.
Yeah, he's more or less laid off.
Yeah, he's just in the house. Like he's not really
petitioning out
doing the strike or anything.
We never
like that.
see him.
Yeah.
But Eddie asks if he thinks it will be over quickly, and Herman's like, 2 days tops.
And him not being like on the picket lines and stuff, it's kind of like, well, what are you, like the Leonardo DiCaprio or Oprah of the freaking union? You can't go out and picket with us, guys.
He's supposed to be the union steward for them,
Yeah. So he should be out there. He should be managing stuff, being like, okay, this is what we're gonna do today. This is where you're gonna be. Here's your picket signs. Here's all this. Here's find out the regulations of where you're legally allowed to walk and stand and do all this.
Oh, dude, they wanted us out there. They wanted 3 groups to cover the same corner in a not great neighborhood 24 hours.
And one
corner where the corner where our work is.
Yeah.
For the time that I was given, I was supposed to be out there from midnight to 7 a.m. So and I was only getting paid, like we were going to get paid like, I think maybe $215, and my wife even less because she was part-time. So
right. This was the company you worked for before.
Oh yeah, this was
this recent one, right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't care about saying their name. They're dead and buried, and screw them.
Well, the one you were just at that you got laid off from, they weren't union, right?
No, they're not. This is my first non-union job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah. So Herman says it's going to last 2 days, 3 tops. And I'm like, that's very optimistic when we have literally seen in our time writers and the automobile strikes go on for months.
But what are they going to be fair on his account? Like the writer's strike, like, I'm not putting anybody down. Writer's strike. Okay, so you're not writing or anything. There's not somebody putting dead bodies in the ground, dude. Like you kind of need that.
Well, they're just digging holes, as we hear later on. So Herman is sure they will be kissing their toe tags before long, which is such a great burn. I loved that.
Where are all the bodies going that aren't being buried right now?
Look up Thomas Clock III and all of his friends.
Like their freezers even have to be full at the moment.
Well, there's plenty of morgues being caught right now doing terrible, non-ethical things with body storage.
Well, half of them are just burning the bodies and saying that they're burying them.
Some of them are just letting them literally lay in a pile until the juices leak out into the road. That's a real thing that happened in Michigan. Grandpa, however, thinks it will be them kissing the asses of the morticians before long as they run out of money, which, yeah, as I said, is the ultimate weapon. Look at what Disney and stuff try to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was also freaking hot as hell, too, that they were just like letting them be out there.
They cut the trees to take away their shade illegally.
Yeah. What studio was that? Was that Warner Brothers?
That was Warner Brothers. That was
Yeah.
Zaslav. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say I kind of think it was gonna be him.
Yeah.
Maybe Ron Perlman should burn this house down. I mean, just saying. Allegedly. Allegedly just saying.
Ron Perlman's awesome. But yeah, nothing worth having comes easy, and having good working conditions takes a lot of work.
Hold on. Let me rephrase that. He should have allegedly burnt his house down with nobody in the house.
Zaslav's house, not his own.
Yes.
Or a nameless movie executive.
Yeah. An alleged movie executive's house should have been burnt down with nobody in the house.
So we have our first time skip of the episode.
Did we cover everything?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have our first time skip of the episode, and there will be a lot of them, and I love how they're used. Marilyn is polishing the dining table. She's back, by the way. We saw her a little bit last episode.
Yeah.
She mentions Herman has been home a week, and the house has never looked better. And Lily agrees. He's washed the hearse, shampooed the rugs, and might even have buffed the lawn. And as someone who, as I said, is currently laid off, that happens. Our house is looking really good, except for this room because I don't have shelves. You have no idea what to do with your time when you don't have work.
You can try by, fixing everything first.
I don't know how to. I'm gonna end up ruining stuff. I do have to trim the bush out back, but I'll do that tomorrow or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Grandpa comes in with another editorial in the paper. I'm really suspecting he's the one who wrote the last one, honestly.
Oh, I totally thought he did, yeah. About the shitting on them, yeah.
To those greedy morticians who oppose the strike, these noble gravediggers are not just striking for themselves, but for future gravediggers still in their cradles.
Yeah.
Grandpa would love to meet the idiot who wrote this. And I thought it was obvious from the first line that it was Lily, but she holds out her hand. Nice to meet you. He then checks the name, and it is Lily. He's disgusted. Marilyn's like, oh, that was beautifully worded. And this kind of goes to Lily's head for the rest of the episode, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So Grandpa wish it came with an air sickness bag, and Herman thinks it's terrific. Eddie tells him they need to head out to make the batting cages. Grandpa says strikes are hell, aren't they? You could get sunstroke from sitting in the bleachers. Just, again, this is not an actual representation of a strike.
No, it's not. Not at all. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the first scene we get with Herman wearing his shirt as well. Lily tells him to have a lovely time. Herman is the luckiest husband in the neighborhood. And Grandpa has an amazing retort here.
He's like, you're the only husband in the neighborhood. Everyone else is at work.
Eddie hopes this strike never ends. He could go to baseball games every day for his life. Time skipped to Eddie saying he never wants to see another baseball game for as long as he lives. Or no, he's going to shoot himself if he sees another one. I'm sorry.
Suicide jokes. Fun.
Yeah. My you could tell what Herman's stress outlet is that he just wants to keep busy, and that helps. But my de-stressing outlet when I was laid off, going through all of this last year and even this year, is just going for a walk around 7:00 at night in the nice evening air.
Yeah,
it's really wonderful, and it drives my wife nuts. But I like to do it every night.
I would go insane.
Going for a walk every day?
No, just being home 24/7.
Oh.
There's too many people in my house. It's just
oh yeah, all I have is that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where she is.
So we get another time jump, right?
Not yet. Herman's asking Eddie from the top of the stairs, like, "Hey, you ready to go?" And Eddie like tries to sneak away, but
Yeah.
Lily, who is sitting on a couch, stops him. So he confesses. He's like, "Look, it's been fun going to baseball games every day for the past week. It's just too much." And Herman's like, "Okay, how about a Sunday? I'm not hungry."
Eddie is just like, leave me alone. It's
Yeah,
too
he's like,
much, bro.
"Need help with your homework?
Yeah.
It's done. I'll help you clean your room. You cleaned it yesterday. Well, what do you want to do?" It's like, "Well, I was planning on taking Claudia to the movies." "Great. I'd love to see a movie." "No, no, 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 no. You should, but with a group of your peers."
Yeah.
Which is a great use of that. Eddie especially with the, the story from last episode. He tells Eddie, like, "All right, I get it. Okay, you go have fun. I got plenty of things to do around the house." And then he does literally what I do every day after dropping my wife off from work. Wanders around looking for something to do before I finally settle down and play a few video games.
He's not playing games though.
No, but that's what I do.
Yeah. Yep. And
He
Grandpa
sees,
comes out.
well, we do know that he plays Mario.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
It was like the first season, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's Luigi. So he sees Lily writing something down. He's like, "Hey, want some help with that? Want me to sharpen your pencil?" And Lily, annoyed at being interrupted, just hands him her pen and he hands it right back. She's like, "Look, you have already reset my ring, done my soft washables. I know you mean well, but you need to find something else to do."
Oh.
And that's when Grandpa comes up. He already has. He alphabetized my beakers. Which, how do you, what? He even filed.
They're all labeled.
Yeah, he even filed laxatives under Limburger. "I fed Stanley." Well, let's just say I've never seen him so regular. A Limburger is a type of cheese, by the way. I didn't know that. I'm not a cheese person.
So is Munster.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I knew that. We've talked about that. Herman decides to go out and wait for the mailman, hoping to get the rebate for his brand new flashlight. It's for 50 cents, which is roughly $1.20 in 2024. Grandpa then begs Lily to find something for him to do before he drives them all batty. And Lily's like, "Relax. Herman's handling it." Another time skip.
To Herman not handling it.
he's watching The Price is Right, which, to be fair, is a fantastic show.
This is the spot where, first they have their cleaning phase, and now it's just like, screw it, I've given up on life. Everything's everywhere. Food
Depression starts
wrappers.
setting in.
I'm drinking straight out of the 2-liter. Like, it's just like,
he's not even dressed. He's in his pajamas.
Yeah.
Lily is in the kitchen finishing up yet another editorial about how the gravediggers are keeping their dignity during all this BS. Cut to Herman reading tabloids now.
I really worry that's going to be my kids if they ever move out. Just sitting in front of the TV in their pajamas with food shit everywhere.
Hey, I got a friend like that, and he still's got a job.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's horrible.
Let these brave men shine as working examples of America. Herman calls to orders. I love the cutback from her talking him up to Herman doing the dumbest stuff possible right now.
Yeah.
He is ordering the solid gold Elvis pinata. Oh boy. Lily comes out saying it's 3:00. You've been up for
It was a new kitchen scene too. We haven't had that shot of that kitchen.
Oh yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
As Frank mentioned, there was a change up with this. I don't know if it happened yet. It still looked the same, but I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna try and look for it in season 3.
Okay.
Lily, yeah. She's like, it's 3 o'clock. You've been up for almost an hour. Shouldn't you be dressed? So he's sleeping in as well.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I will. I just want to see if the fat lady goes for the scuba gear. Good Lord. Grandpa
So
shouts
wait,
at
that's
him.
the Price is Right that he's watching, right?
Oh, yeah. I love that show, to be honest. Grandpa shouts at him to get down to the lab now. So we go cut to the lab. Herman, or I'm sorry, Grandpa is talking with Leonard about he doesn't have to worry where his. I'm tired of having to talk to Leonard about wondering where his next meal comes from. Which does Leonard eat?
I don't know, but he's sitting nice and comfy right now.
Yeah. Herman enters carrying his 2-liter soda bottle, which we got Little Caesars the other day, and some dude walked in, just bought a 2-liter and walked out. There was a convenience store across the street that I'm sure sells it for less.
Maybe they don't sell the right brand.
It was Mountain Dew. Who doesn't sell that?
I mean, there's some. I don't know. Man.
So Grandpa is sorry to interrupt the 11-hour tribute to Gilligan's Island, which is not what he was watching. And quite honestly, if he did interrupt that, you should be sorry. It's Gilligan's Island.
Yes.
Herman says it's fine. The professor discovered they've been stranded on a peninsula the whole time. That cannot be the real ending to the show. Tell me that's not the Gilligan's Island ending. Myke.
I don't believe it is.
Okay. Because that is.
Let's see here.
Let's say, who scouted the island? Gilligan? Anyway, Grandpa is worried about the financial situation of the family.
Yeah, no, it ended normally. Yeah, okay. I haven't seen the show all the way through, but
I've never seen the ending to it. But
they didn't know it was going to be the series finale. So
yeah, and then we got Gilligan in Space as the sequel. So
Gilligan. Oh, what?
Yeah. Gilligan went to space.
How?
I don't know.
Oh, Gilligan's Planet. The animated. Yeah. I remember seeing parts of that. I was going to say Gilligan's Island in space is literally Lost in Space.
So, yeah, Grandpa's like, look, I'm worried about our financial situation. There's no strike fund and you don't qualify for unemployment, which, oh, yeah, that is huge. Because you're technically refusing to work, you don't qualify for unemployment. And it's like they don't have a strike fund for the what are the other people doing?
Digging graves for another company.
Scabs. Oh, Herman says
for another company, not their company.
Yeah, I was jumping ahead a little bit.
They just got.
They went to the competitors of Gateman, Goodberry, and Graves. What is that company that were doing the really nice commercials? Oh no, wait, that was Herman's company. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while, people.
So I had to look this up real quick because you brought it into my atmosphere. Gilligan's Planet. It was actually the last produced thing by Filmation. Last cartoon series that Filmation produced for Saturday mornings. Afterwards, they transitioned from Saturday mornings to producing cartoons exclusively for syndication. So it was the last one that they created for
Saturday morning specifically.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I never knew that. But Herman says, don't worry about it. It'll be over in a few days anyway. And he waves to Stanley. Grandpa tells him to wake up. It's been 6 weeks. Morticians have no intent of giving in. They will have to give. Herman's like, they will have to give in when there's no place left to store the bodies. Oh, Herman. Thomas Clark III has taught us that is very not true. I will continue to bring this man up because it is a disturbing story that I wish I didn't have in my head. And I will burden everyone listening with the knowledge.
And you got me on the kick. So I've been reading this thing. So, okay, sorry, we're going to sidestep for a quick second.
Oh, we're going to have an aside?
An aside, yes, please. Gilligan's Planet is a spin-off of the New Adventures of Gilligan, based on the premise that the professor had managed to build an operational interplanetary spaceship to get the castaways of the original cartoon series off the island. True to the castaways' perpetual right? They rocketed off in the space and crash landed on an unknown planet that supported human life. In many ways, the planet was like the island, but with a strangely colored and cratered surface. With more land to get around, the rocket was severely damaged in the crash. Thus, the castaways were still stranded, and the professor resumed his attempts to repair their only way home.
It's a weird show.
The only original actor who didn't return was Tina Lewis from Ginger. She refused to do any Gilligan Island related materials after the series ended,
which is fair.
I wonder if she had the same shit like Marilyn has in this, where it was like all body dysmorphia crap, image control and stuff like that. Like, you gotta look this way because you're in a bikini 24/7 on set. Yeah. Oh, you didn't fill those coconuts out right. I guess you gotta add a little bit of pounds, but don't make it to your waist, only to your butt. Shit like that. That's how these people talk in Hollywood, guys, and they still do. They still do. Don't let them fool you that they don't. They still freaking do that shit.
Oh yeah.
It's sad.
So
Grandpa can't lock up all the Weinsteins.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We can. They just won't.
It'd take a while. We'd run out of room probably.
We'd need more. We'd actually need producers to show back up then in Hollywood.
Grandpa tells him it's time to look for a new job. Herman is a grave digger. It's what he does.
Yep.
Well, you'll just have to find something just for a little bit then. Well, I mean, Herman has been thinking of doing a temp job as an airline pilot or a registered nurse, but that will be against his ideals. You can't feed family on ideals. What ideals?
Yeah, I don't know.
What are your ideals? Man shouldn't fly or take care of the sick? Anyway, Grandpa then heads out to find his own job.
What about all those people who have fed their family on ideals?
Yeah.
There's lots of authors that wrote books about what they thought. There's lots of people that do really, it's their personal opinion of things, of podcasts, and they get a lot of money from it to feed their families.
Oh, yeah. One dude, Mosier, was talking about the Australian Mr. Sunday movies. He started as a teacher just doing, a fun show with his friend. And now that's literally his job.
Yeah. I mean, aren't there little like college classes that teach ideology and shit like that?
Oh, probably.
Yeah. If not, I'm sure there are professors that teach their own personal ideology on people.
It depends on what kind of class you set out for. Or what kind of 2-bit school you go to.
Yeah. take women's lib and what's the other one? I forget what the other one was they offered me before. And I almost took women's lib, but then I found a better music class to take, so I took that instead.
I believe the University of Toledo almost added basket weaving to their curriculum, which
Yeah.
cool for a hobby. Does it need to be a class that I have to pay for?
So I did go to UT for 1 year. I took astronomy there as one of the
Oh, that was one of my
courses.
favorite classes.
Dude, they have one of the coolest, like, for like that area of the country anyways. Like, they have the giant telescopes, they have
Mhm.
the vaulted classrooms, which I loved because you would see them in movies constantly as we were kids and stuff. And I never saw them until I went and did my astronomy class because like so many people took the class. And yeah, I liked that class. That was a fun one. I'd rollerblade this to class and just stay up at the top. And if I had to turn my paper in, I just rollerblade straight down the freaking stairs.
Yeah. No,
Anyway,
it's a really awesome astronomy to stop attacking things on my desk, please.
oh,
So we get another time cut to Herman looking at a stack of bills and freaking out. Lily tries to make him feel better by reading her new letter to the paper. She really has not been present to help, even though she has been vocally supportive of him. Okay, either
she's
get up
like
there or
she's like the media nowadays. They just are gonna say some stuff and find 5 hours of writing to do that doesn't actually help anybody.
yeah. Okay, headbutt the mic. That's fine. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's going to sound great. Thank you.
Tivis is being attacked by his cat.
So,
This is
yeah.
what happens when you get to 101 episodes.
Yeah. What, he went down? Okay. Give me a second. Don't rip me up, please. There you go. Okay. So, yeah, she's not been like she was telling how Eddie has to be there for him, and then she hasn't been. Which is come
Yeah.
on. Herman says, that's nice,
To be
but he's a
fair,
sucker and a chump.
to actually, it's not even to be fair. To put even more shit on to Lily, she's not really ever there for Herman when he needs her. Like when his business was failing, she literally just walks out.
Yeah.
And now that Herman's going through this struggle, it's all about her and her writings and what she can say. It's not even about what she's writing, I feel, in this episode. It's about how she can make it sound good to boost her own like ego and shit like that. So she's not even like trying to help Herman like get through this time, just like she didn't try and help Herman get through being a failed business owner.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and as spouses, as married spouses especially, it's usually what you're there for, to help each other through these harder times and stuff. And anyone who disagrees is just part of that whole new movement of, oh, you should take care of yourself before anyone else. I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but taking care of other people is also a good thing too.
Oh yeah.
Putting other people before yourself is a very good trait to have. So, I mean, I've done it multiple times with friends, even not just family, where I'm going through a hard time or some shit. I don't care. I'll talk to you about your hard times, but first, before I'll deal with mine. I can live. I'm not a little simp.
Herman says that he's a sucker and a chump, and he has now reached the point of feeling defeated, which can be the most crucial point for all strikes. I've seen it with my dad. This will make or break your whole fight. If you can make it through this section, you can outlast them. At that moment, Grandpa comes home. You got a job as a shoe salesman. Like
Al Bundy.
How was your first day? Terrible. You haven't known misery until you've inhaled 12 different varieties of Dr. Scholl's. Still,
I really thought we were gonna get, as soon as they show him up here as a shoe salesman, I really thought we were getting like some more fat jokes like Al does whenever he's at the I thought we were gonna get a lot of that, and we were gonna like actually see Grandpa in the shoe store being like, because Al Bundy's jokes were like, yes, whatever, there's fat jokes, I don't care. The shit was funny how he delivered it, especially with the straight look on his face. Because he, like, if you ever watched Married with Children, Al Bundy would drop the lines to just completely, it wasn't even to be funny. It was pretty funny for himself, but to completely just shit on the other person. Like, he did not give a crap about how you felt afterwards because he was just giving it to you how it was.
mhm.
It was funny as hell.
He was also a creepy, foot fetish dude, though. So
I feel Grandpa would be cutting their feet off and keeping them in jars.
oh yeah, especially classic Grandpa.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, I really thought we were gonna get a shot of Grandpa like just like seeing corns on people's feet or something.
Yeah. Grandpa does admit that he's not afraid of a little hard work, staring at Herman.
Yeah.
He then sets down shoes for the family. What about Herman? They're all out of loafers. Like, oof, that is a good burn. That is a good burn.
Yeah. Harsh. Very harsh.
Sorry, my wife is distracting me.
Not as much as my wife was. She just walked in here earlier and bent over so I could see her ass. She didn't do it on purpose to show me her ass. She was looking for something. I'm sure if you play back the video, you guys can see me looking over and doing one of these.
Yeah, mine's just stressed out at work. Sitting at the table for dinner, Eddie thanks Grandpa for the meal. He says he hasn't been to the supermarket in ages. You wouldn't believe how much chicken costs these days. He then stares at Herman, who puts his piece back and grabs a smaller one. But Grandpa isn't relenting, so Herman takes an even smaller one.
Yeah.
How are the people you work with? Well, working people, the salt of the earth. Grandpa now looks at how much of the food Herman is putting on his plate. Eddie senses the tension, or just has eyes, and asks what Herman did today. Oh, nothing as exciting as Mr. Floorshine here. Lily says, hey, you reorganized your desk and put all the paper clips in the little dish. So Grandpa's, no wonder he's so hungry.
The funniest part about these scenes is when Grandpa is like, or watching Herman take the amount of food he is, and like the look he gets, like he's staring Herman down, and Herman puts the big piece of chicken back, and he grabs a smaller piece, and Grandpa just gives him one of these big like, yeah, okay, so now we can go back to the normal conversation. Like he's just like gives a smile on his face. I was like, oh man, that's harsh.
Yeah,
I know I never have to worry about that scenario.
Herman has had enough. He doesn't need this kind of charity. You want your food back? Here it is. And he dumps it on the floor and walks away, which is just
Yeah.
like, there you go, Grandpa, eat. Later that night, Herman is sneaking food as the doorbell rings. It's Foster Newkirk. I spelled it super weird here. Also wearing the strike shirt. He brought Donna his shovel. Lily comes to see who it is and is weirded out by Foster. Are you under my bookshelf again? She asks if she can get them anything. He says he's fine. He then listens to his shovel and says, we're both fine. She then says she will leave all of them to talk, but before leaving, she whispers to Herman as she heads upstairs, the straight jacket is in the closet if you need it. Herman asks how Foster has been, and he commiserates, or they commiserate over the situation. Foster has had enough. He's going to scab. Herman pleads with him not to do it. You're going to be ostracized. And that is a serious breach in standing together. And personally, if you do that, you kind of have what you got coming.
Especially if you're part of the union
Mm-hmm.
and you do scab work, that's even worse, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like people were giving me shit because I was shopping scripts around when the writer's strike was going on. I'm like, I'm not a part of the union, dude. Like, chill the fuck out. Like, I was just trying to sell something that had been written already. So I was like, I'm gonna take advantage. I was taking advantage.
Well, that you probably shouldn't have admitted that.
But the person I have doing that stuff for me, they knew who to go to, because I told them, I was like, go to the indie people. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about, I want
Studios.
the stories. Yeah. I want the stories to go to indie people. So that's who we shop around to. And one is in the talks of potentially getting purchased. So hopefully that works. Yeah. It's not much at all, since it's an indie person. It's indie studios.
It's still cool,
but
though. I know you love doing, that kind of stuff. So
yeah. And then people can take the stuff and be like, now I'm going to do a podcast and rip them all his shit apart.
We should go back and look at all of your work. Herman says, look, you need to stay strong. It's only a matter of time before they call them back. And Foster's, they can easily be replaced. So why would they? Herman's like, why would you say something so foolish? Dude. Or Herman's like, I take great pride in my work and make sure every detail is done correctly and efficiently. They could never replace expertise like ours. And Foster, are you insane? We dig holes in the ground. Dogs do it.
Yeah.
Foster's like, he's like, look, I'm sorry. I'm stepping over the picket line, and I want you to join me. This strike won't end until the rich people want to do it. Until the bodies are so high they can't see the mountains from their jacuzzis. And that's unfortunately true. Herman won't do it. It's against everything he believes in. Like flying a plane or being a nurse, apparently. He wishes Foster luck and hopefully reports him to the union. That's me. He sees his own shovel leaning against the wall. Lily comes down and he puts it back, but it falls and he apologizes and puts it back again. That couldn't have been planned, but they play it off very well.
Yeah.
I think she brought me a crinkle ball if you hear noise.
Oh, the cat?
Yeah. Lily asks if his friends left. And Herman's like, yeah, I was past Donna's bedtime. Lily's like, seeing your friend reminded me of something very important. What's that? Supporting mental health? Yes, but also this strike is impacting everyone. Even the most unflappable men like you could lose their resolve. Gee, you think, Lily? Look around for a second. Stop writing.
Right.
Marilyn and Eddie come down the stairs. Eddie leaps down for some reason. Lily tells him she is with him regardless of what path he chooses. And the kids say that they are there too. Herman gets a renewed sense of purpose and vows to never stop until they get what they are earned.
Why does Eddie always wear shirts that just have a number on it, like he's running a race? Like in this episode, it's like 969. Which, yeah. But also, why does he always have a number on it?
Isn't that the area code for California?
I mean, it might be for certain areas.
Isn't that part of like Rey Mysterio's intro song?
That's 619.
619. You're right. Yeah. I don't know. It's just stuff they had laying around from other stuff that fit him, or they could be going to like Goodwill because he's growing, and they're like, we need cheap clothing.
Or, oh, geez. Oh, I should not have typed that in. What the hell?
Did you find a cult?
Only every day. Let's see here. So 969 movement is a Buddhist national movement
Oh, Buddhism.
opposed to what they see as Islam's expansion in predominantly Buddhist manner. The 3 digits of 969 symbolize the virtues of the Buddha. So you know what that means is some conspiracy theorist is going to say that Eddie in Hollywood was promoting Buddhism and getting it into your subconsciousness.
I mean, he is a teenager. He could be exploring different faiths.
Yeah.
It's not unreasonable or unrealistic.
Then there's also 969 was a common year starting on Friday of the Julian calendar, the 969th year of the common era and Anno Domini designations. The
AD.
969. Oh yeah, duh. The 969th year of the first millennium, the 69th year of the 10th century, and the 10th and last year of the 960 decades. There's a lot of stuff with 969 actually. Emperor of the Bulgarian Empire suffers
Anything
a
that
stroke.
has to going on in the 90s
There you go. An emperor of the Bulgarian Empire suffers a stroke.
that year.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, at that very moment of his renewed resolve, the phone rings. Herman answers it. It's Foster. When he went down to say he was going to cross the line, it turns out the morticians finally caved. The strike is over. The family all celebrate, even Grandpa, who I can only guess was hiding around the corner listening this entire time. They almost shake, but then both remember Grandpa is an asshole. Lily says they should celebrate. Not just yet. We are back to work. And
Yeah.
Grandpa's like, who is we? Me and my friend Sylvia here, of course. Then we get our last scene. Lily asks how his first day back was. Busy. I'm sure those people have been piling up for a while. Foster worked so hard that Donna got sun poisoning. And they have a laugh, but what?
It means she rusted.
Lily asks that why were you so late? Or is that why you were late? He's like, no. I bought myself a present. A dozen pair of work boots. And he plans to try on every single pair. Oh, clerk. And out rolls Grandpa with a giant cart of shoes. Revenge is sweet.
So I wrote in my notes, my very last note is Grandpa or Herman putting Grandpa back to work like the rat he is.
Oh,
That's awesome. Has to try every pair on.
You did.
I love it, dude. I love it. What's that?
The crinkle ball.
Oh.
Go get it. Oh, there's 2 of them in here. Cool. So,
all right.
Final thoughts. It's a great episode that, while not a good representation of the strike itself, a good representation of what it's like to be in one, or even just be laid off.
Yeah, I was gonna say just to be laid off,
unemployed.
Yeah.
It's I enjoyed it. Uh, having all of these, personal attachments to events like this through either myself or my dad and grandpa, and seeing it throughout my life, added to the story, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, this one I would definitely put in my top 10, maybe towards the bottom of it, like as number 10, but this is definitely an episode I enjoyed.
Cool, man. Well, yeah, you got like more of an emotional attachment to the story itself too, so that helps. Especially at this point in time where, you were also just laid off. So kind of sucks, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it was an okay episode for me. I have a love-hate relationship with unions myself, so yeah. Just because I got screwed over by him before. Oh, Tivis is moving this camera.
She's going under my damn bookcase
Gotcha.
again.
Gotcha. But yeah, I thought it was a fine episode for sure. And nothing like spectacular. Nothing else to really say on my end, anyways, that I didn't say during the conversation. So I am gonna try and find Gilligan's Planet though.
You're welcome. That was the era of space shows. I think oh god, that basketball team. I just had them in my head. Harlem
Globetrotters.
Globetrotters also had a space show around that time.
Yeah. Dude, it really annoyed me. There's episodes in Gilligan's Island, I swear, I remember watching, where people would show up and then leave on their boats too, anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, why are you not taking these people with you?
Because that would end the show. But, I'll go back to the union stuff with you for a second.
Yeah.
There are good and bad with the unions. If you're in one that is doing their job, you won't notice what they're doing. And instead, you will notice the people slipping through the crack because they're protecting them when they really should just be gone because they make everyone's life a living hell. That is a sad thing that happens, but be grateful for that, because I know people who are currently in the Kroger union who are trying to undo a terrible thing that they let happen because nobody paid attention to it. Like, if you are in a union, you need to be active. If you are not, you're giving up your power.
Yeah. And a lot of them, they get you in there. I mean, if like I was 18 when I joined my first union, so yeah.
And
I was union until pretty much pretty much till I got married. Almost I was in the union.
And if you are lucky enough to find a company that actually cares about its employees still, which is an extremely rare thing now, like a really good buddy of mine, we both started Kroger same year. He got moved to a different company that, like, I believe his wife's family owns or something, and they they take care of everyone in there because it's small. They know everyone knows each other personally in the building.
Right.
So,
okay, that's cool.
And if that's the case, you don't need a union to protect you. It's just these mega corporations that just
smother and struggle, make you struggle. Yeah. I hear horror stories of people that work at a specific corporation retail that is not union, and they've been there for a long time, and it starts with a W.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Ends in a mart.
Yeah.
I have no problem calling Kroger out because fuck the CEO, fuck the executives. They just got caught raising the price on stuff for no reason, screwing customers over. So let them burn.
Allegedly let them burn.
Or, if they just happen to.
All right, man. So what are we talking about next time that we show up here? We got one episode left, right? I think.
Yeah, the finale of season 2.
Finale. All right.
So we're talking
go on.
That's gratitude, which that could be so many different things. Could one of the kids get a job as a waiter or waitress?
For as in gratitude, like tips and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. I think Grandpa's finally going to come to his senses and pay respect to Herman.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Or Grandpa is gonna have another one of his meltdowns where he thinks he's helped someone and they don't show him the appreciation that he feels he deserves.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not Grandpa. What if it's Lily and Eddie getting into one of those teenage rebellion skirmishes?
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday. That would be an interesting Munsters episode.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Herman and Grandpa switch spots.
I could picture Herman and Eddie, and then Grandpa Herman would end up being dressed like Eddie in a very flashy, and then have Eddie just dressed in a Herman outfit, a mini Herman outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But how does that work if Herman's very frisky a lot? Ugh. Okay, don't do that. We don't need that episode.
You had to take it there.
I had to take it there. They literally have taken it there in the show. What do you mean?
Not that. All
right, I'm done. We're done for the day.
Yeah, we're done. Thank you, listeners, for everything that you have done. We always love reading your comments, emails, all of that.
Yeah. Is that your final words?
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, with that all said, we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.